The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm not facing it all.
From Christian Walker down in the 4 spot.
Astros were struggling coming in offensively. Matter of fact, the Orioles held the Astros to 5 runs total in that 3-game series last week over in Houston. But the Astros, 26 runs they have put up. So, yes, hot. So, Trevor Rogers has his hand full, but so do the Houston Astros.
Astros, the first-place team in the West, 72-59, 3 clear of Seattle. Looking for a 4-game sweep. Trevor Rogers looking to curb their enthusiasm as Jeremy Pena puts the first pitch of the game into left field. And Houston begins this game the way that they've begun and ended the last 3. A leadoff hit for Pena, who's 3 for 14 in the series with a couple of walks.
Well, let's take a look at the Oriole defense behind 27-year-old Trevor Rogers. Left to right in the outfield, Beavers, Cowser, and Jackson. Your double-play combination going to be Henderson and Luis Vasquez over at second. Vimael Machine at third. Mountcastle gets to start at first, and Alex Jackson behind home plate for the Orioles.
Samuel Basayo DHing today. Kobe Mayo gets the day off, as does Jackson Holiday. 93 low to Carlos Correa. It's an 81-degree Sunday afternoon. 137 was today's first pitch. 5 for 14 series for Correa. He's homered, driven in 4, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. And Correa takes down and in for ball 2. 8 straight with a hit for Correa, who's returned to Houston and has not stopped hitting. 338, 878 on base plus slugging. His 20 Astros games. Correa on a 2-0 launches a changeup out of play for strike 1.
That's the thing about Trevor Rogers, man. He's been able, when he's needed to, even when he's been in behind counts or what you call plus counts for hitters, sometimes he can land that changeup, and it's been a difference maker for him, or one of the breaking balls as well, because he's going to throw that slider and a sweeping slider as well.
141 ERA through his first 12 starts, a club record. Hoyt Wilhelm in 1959 had a 150 in his first 12 starts, and Trevor Rogers 9 strikeouts on the changeup in his last 4 games, only 3 in his first 8. 4-seamer still the big strikeout pitch, then the sweeper, then the change. It's 2-1 to Correa. Pena's on the run, and Correa bounces the ball down to Vimael Machine, who gets the out at first. Pena easily to second on the game's first out. Time for today's Coors Light Beating the Pressure. Trevor Rogers, 6 innings and 1 run or no runs allowed in 5 consecutive starts. He's the 3rd pitcher to do that 5 starts in a row in Orioles history. The only one to do it 6 straight is Jim Palmer. Jose Altuve, as Houston gets a runner in scoring position instantly. And Altuve puts the first pitch fastball out of play.
Altuve, 3 hits last night. I mean, you couldn't get a fastball by him last night.
He was 5 for 14 in this series, 2 doubles and a walk. 26 runs for Houston in 3 games. They've got double-digit hits in all 3, 33 total. They've also walked 9 times.
And they've not been great with runners in scoring position. They're only 7 for 26 in this series. The difference is they've hit a lot of home runs in 3 games. And when you're hitting the ball out of the ballpark, you don't have to be great with hitting with runners in scoring position. Orioles held the Astros over in Houston 4 for 25 with runners in scoring position. They are 7 for 26 in this series.
Pena's going for third. Altuve strikes out. Jackson's throw is short. Rogers gets the K on an elevated heater. Pena steals his team-leading 18th base, but there are 2 outs.
Well, I like how Vimael Machine over at third base, he realized Pena got a really good jump. He wasn't going to get him with the throw, so he just kind of bodies this ball up and makes sure he keeps it in front to keep Pena advancing. So I just kind of got in front of that ball and bodied it up.
That was the first stolen base this year against Trevor Rogers in 77 innings. And Pena's at third for Walker. Up and away to Christian, ball 1.
Well, they've not had many chances at all. Here's Vimael Machine right here. Just kind of tries to get in front of it. Forget about trying to make the tag. Keep it right where it is.
Walker a home run in 3 straight. Swings and pops a fastball out of play.
Yeah, the Orioles absolutely dominated Christian Walker over in Houston. He was 1 for 7. Boy, it's been a different series for him. 5 for 14, 3 homers, and 7 RBIs in 3 games.
1-1 to Walker. Another fastball he's late on, and it's 1-2. Well, it's been a while since anybody gets a scoring position against Trevor Rogers in the first inning. Nobody had done so in the month of August.
No, Trevor Rogers has a 0 ERA in the first inning through 12 starts. And it will stay that way.
0.00.
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a bit of discontent. I'm only facing it all. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a bit of discontent. I'm only facing it
Made 2 starts for the Astros this year, and then a crazy accident happened. He got hit by a ball in batting practice on his throwing thumb. He missed 4 months of the season with a fractured thumb, and just now kind of making his way back. His last time out was against the Tigers. He went 5 innings, got hit pretty good, gave up 5 runs, and struck out 5 in 90 innings of work.
Fastball inside corner or thereabouts, then a changeup over the outside edge to Kaiser, and it's 0-2. 4 for 13 series for Colton. 2 homers, 4 RBIs, and he has walked. And he takes a breaking ball in the dirt here for ball 1.
Getty's fastball, typically 92 to 95, it'll be in that range. Now, what's different about him is his extension, and we talked about this before the game. 7 feet 3 of an extension when he lets the ball go from the rubber towards home plate. So that puts him in the 96th percentile. What does that mean? It means the ball is playing a lot faster than what it looked like.
Was a 6th rounder out of the University of Louisiana, or Louisiana Lafayette. In 2021, the Astros really like that extension.
Yep. Same place as Brandon Young, Louisiana Lafayette.
Arrighetti's 1-2 is a breaking ball fouled away by Cowser.
Astros like extension. They like different things, like a lot of organizations, but they also like spin. And when you look at Arrighetti, he can really spin the breaking balls. When you talk about the RPMs, all of his breaking balls well above big league average.
High fastball chased by Cowser.
Well, let's take a look at Arrighetti's pitch arsenal. See the four-seam fastball?
Seventh pitch to Cowser. He takes the curveball low, and it's 2-2. Colton had a good night yesterday. A two-run single off Christian Javier in the first, a solo home run off A.J. Blubaugh in the fifth. Went 2 for 5, drove in 3.
Yeah, he's homered in back-to-back games now, has Cowser. One on a curveball last night, and then a high-velocity fastball 2 nights ago.
There's a breaking ball, sliced the other way, and it'll land in front of Dubon and left. Colton Cowser takes a cutter out to shallow left field, and he leads off the game with an 8-pitch battle and a single.
And what do you know? Starting to handle the breaking ball a little bit better, too. Good for Colton Cowser. He wants to hit the fastball. And the way you get more fastballs is you take these breaking balls here and you dump them out there, or you hit them hard, get a few base hits, and then you'll start to see a few more fastballs.
And Dubon, who's one of the game's elite defenders, pulled up to play it a little conservatively. So a leadoff man on. And a strike now to Jeremiah Jackson, 0-1.
Man, take a peek at Jeremiah Jackson's batting average. There it is. How about 339? 9 RBIs. And look at the OPS, well above big league average.
One of the best starts we've seen from an Oriole rookie. Through 18 games, the first 18 of Jackson's big league career. Cowser dancing off first. Arrighetti can sense him dancing. Colton 7 for 7 as a base stealer this year, so minimum 55 plate appearances. Here's the start for Jeremiah Jackson. The highest average through 18 Oriole games. Ryan Mountcastle leads the way. Jackson's ahead of Don Bailey. First career home run last night. One of the longest first career home runs we've seen for an Oriole. 439 feet. 5 of his last 6 starts been a multi-hit game. He looks really, really comfortable in his first big league month.
That ball was turned around last night. I mean, straight away center field, too. First pitch he saw in that at bat. There it is, what you're talking about.
About that. Tyler Nevin now playing over in Korea. Jackson just gets a little piece of a sweeper. You can see the setup from Diaz way outside against Jeremiah Jackson, who stands oh so far off the plate, but doesn't mind it. He said, I really don't think about it. He actually looks a little bit closer today, but he's still pretty far back off the plate. Fastball is up and away. I asked Jeremiah yesterday why he stands so far back, and he said, it's just where I'm comfortable. I don't think about it. I don't think about what move I need to get to the ball outside. I just feel comfortable there, and I think I can still cover the ball away. Well, he has. That ball's in the middle of the plate. It's hit hard to third. Correa starts a double play. Now Jackson grounds into a double play for the second time in the series. 5, 4, and 3.
This infield for the Astros, man, they can do it on defense. Correa, a Gold Glover. Pena, a Gold Glover. Ramon Urias, a Gold Glover. And, of course, Christian Walker, a 3-time Gold Glover right there over at first base.
Part of the reason why the Astros are rated as one of the best defensive teams in baseball. Jose Altuve, former Gold Glover, his defensive skills have certainly diminished. He's DHing. Mauricio Dubon won the Gold Glove 2 years ago at the utility position. He's in left. Henderson slings one out on right field, tosses the bat aside, and will jog around the bases with a long home run. Number 16 for Gunnar Henderson on the 16th pitch of the first inning. And that ball got up and out in a hurry.
KB, you talk about go out there and circle one right there. No trouble with the curve for the kid, Gunnar Henderson, man. That ball looked like to me it was on the outer third of the plate. Got his body a little bit out in front, but those hands stayed back, and he threw the head out of it and circled it for his 16th long ball of the year, his 59th RBI.
That looked a whole lot like many of the swings we saw last year when Gunnar hit around half his home runs on breaking balls.
Yeah, he went out and stuck his nose on that one and got it.
Ryan Mountcastle now behind 0-2. Well, Gunnar Henderson needed only 2 pitches to make it a 16-game on-base streak. And the power, it's been there in doubles. It hadn't been there in home runs, but there's still time. Still 33 games left for Gunnar Henderson to up that home run number. And that's the kind of swing to help do it. Mountcastle belts one and ekes up Correa. Goes off his glove, careens to the sidewall. And Carlos gets there very quickly to hold Mountie to a 2-strike, 2-out single. The Orioles have 3 hits in the first 4 batters.
And that's why they call it the hot corner right there. 108 off the bat. This ball just chews up Carlos Correa. I mean, it's hooking. It's 108 off the bat. He don't want to get his face in front of that one.
So Mountcastle now with a 10-game hit streak. Gunnar and Mountie both extend their respective streaks in their first at-bats, and the inning continues for Samuel Basallo. 2 for 11 series, and a long double yesterday, and drives this ball the other way and foul. Let's check in with Rob.
Gunnar, you crushed that one. What did you see, man?
I just felt like I saw something over the middle and saw it pop out of hand, so I was able to get it up in the air.
You guys been scoring a lot of runs, hitting the ball hard. Different approach to the plate?
No, I mean, we've been putting up a lot of runs, like you said, so just continue to do it. And I mean, I have full faith in our pitchers. They've been carrying us for a while, so just keep putting up runs for them, and I know they're going to come through.
Early and often, man. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Rob, thank you. Thanks to Gunnar for hopping down with us after his 16th home run of the year. Basallo rips one to right field. There's a base hit. Samuel Basallo closing out this weekend series, the weekend where he signed an 8-year extension, and he has hit a couple of rockets.
Yeah, that's 3 balls hit by the Orioles, well above average. Mountcastle 108, Basallo 108. Well, did you hear what Gunnar Henderson said? I saw the ball pop up out of the hand, and that's how good hitters are, man. The ball just looks a little bit different. They can tell when that curveball is coming, because a lot of curveballs that are slower curveballs, when they come out of the hand, they pop up just a little bit, and hitters recognize that. Now, they don't pop up on the sliders, they don't pop up on the changeups, they don't pop up on the cutters, but on a slower curveball, it will hop out of the hand a little bit.
As Spencer Arrigetti's curveball not been great to start the year. He's already allowed a couple of home runs on that pitch in just 6 starts. 3 straight balls that have been smashed, and now Dylan Beavers. Beavers has had a magnificent series. He is 4 for 10. He scored 5 runs. He's doubled. He's hit his first career homer. He's knocked in 2. He's walked 3 times. And he has reached base now all 7 games to start his big league career. He's got a .484 on base percentage already. 26th pitch of the first inning coming for Arrigetti. Would you look at that? It's another long first inning for a Houston starter. 33 for Javier in the first yesterday. 23 for McCullers Jr. in the first on Friday. Jason Alexander threw 20 on Thursday. And Beavers with a soft line drive to second will end the inning. Orioles got 4 hits. Here's the big one.
Yeah, Gunnar Henderson, how about this? Go!
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feeling discontent. I'm finally facing it all. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step, still hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feeling discontent. I'm finally facing it
And down his pocket was a 5-way tie among Orioles with 15 homers. And Henderson breaks. And now Trevor Rogers with an 0-2 count with a 1-0 lead. Yander Diaz 2 for 9 in the series. And Diaz strikes out swinging. 0-2 pitch right down the middle. Couldn't get it. 3 straight Ks for Rogers.
It's the invisible. That's what I'm calling it. Because his fastball is almost invisible. I don't know what it is at 91, right down the heart, but hitters simply just don't see it.
Diaz strikes out for the 3rd time in the series. And now ball 1 to Ramon Urias.
3 consecutive strikeouts now for Rogers.
All of them on the 4-seam fastball. He now has 34 of his 70 strikeouts on that pitch. As Urias gets a piece of a changeup. How much is the fastball itself? How much of it is the unpredictability to strike counts?
I think it's the unpredictability and his ability to also work from ahead. And I keep saying this about him, and we talked about it in the pregame show. I mean, his first pitch strike percentage up about 9 points from last year. So he's putting hitters on a defense right away to be able to get to and put them in guessing counts. And that's kind of where he's got them right now.
Henderson retires Urias from the hole. 5 straight retired by Rogers.
Kind of what I'm talking about right here. Look at the first pitch strikes last year versus this year. So up about 9 points on that right there. The end zone strike percentage is up as well a good bit. Of course, the average on the fastball up about a mile, 1.3 miles per hour. So it's not so much the velocity. I think his ability of getting ahead, and then the spin is much better for Trevor Rogers this year than what it has been in the past.
And Mauricio Dubon goes after the first pitch and skies it to right. Trevor Rogers with a 7-pitch shutdown inning in the second. The 0-1. And that's another strike. 0-2. Arrighetti already has been doing a good job of getting ahead of most of these hitters. He got burned by some 2-strike hits last inning. 21 of his 29 pitches so far have been strikes.
Interesting, after those first 2 pitches, glancing out to center field at the bottom of the scoreboard, where you can check out the horizontal and vertical break of those last 2 pitches.
0-2, way outside, and Diaz doesn't even get a glove on it as it bounces to the backstop. The breaking ball makes it 1-2.
Good way to figure out if you need to make an adjustment or not.
You often see pitchers maybe look to check their velocity on the board. 1-2. Just off the outside corner, and no swings as Mike Estabrook at first. But yeah, a lot of the ballparks, like you mentioned, have the horizontal, vertical break on each pitch. Put that on the board too. Another tool for pitchers. 2-2. And that's popped foul and out of play off to the right. 2-2 still.
They started that at Dyken Park with Verlander. Verlander wanted to see those numbers, and it was mostly on the ribbon scoreboard where he could see it without turning around.
2-2. That's hit foul and out of play behind home. Well, it helps to be a future Hall of Famer if you want to get something done, right?
Yeah. A couple of phone calls later, and they were able to get it on there.
Already quite a few foul balls off Arrighetti. 2-2 to Jackson. Bouncing ball left side to his left, Correa. Third baseman flags it down and throws to first in time, 1 out. 10,000 fans will take home a Mauricio Dubon and Dogs bobblehead on Saturday. That's presented by Reliant. Get your tickets at astros.com/promotions. Astros off tomorrow before starting a 10-game homestand on Tuesday night. Rockies will be in for 3 Tuesday, Wednesday night, Thursday afternoon. Then the Angels come in for a 4-game series. They'll take the Astros through Labor Day, and then the Yankees are in for 3 in the beginning of September. First pitch to Vimael Machine is high for a ball. Machine left-handed hitting third baseman. Third game with the Orioles. He's 1 for 5. That one hit a homer in his first at bat with Baltimore Friday. 1-0. It's big swing and a miss at a pitch upstairs. And it's a ball and a strike to Machine. Last played at the big leagues with the Oakland A's in 2022 before Friday. 1-1. Bouncing ball right at the shortstop Pena, who is just to the left of second, and he throws to first to get Machine 2 out. Now it's Luis Vasquez, number 9 hitter and second baseman. Vasquez getting his second start in this series. He started on Friday night and was 2 for 3. A couple of singles, scored a run. Before that game, he had been 2 for 26 on the season. This is Vasquez's 22nd game this year. First pitch, and he gets this on the ground on one hop to Urias, moving to his left, fields it, and throws out Vasquez in an efficient 1-2-3 inning for Arrighetti with 3 ground ball outs. We're through 2 innings in Baltimore. Orioles 1, Astros nothing.
Looking for adventure? Then X marks the spot.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I feel it.
Oriole Park at Camden Yards. It's 8-9-1 of the order for the Astros, beginning with Cam Smith, 244 average with 7 home runs. Left-handed pitcher Trevor Rogers, 27-year-old, on the mound, who has been stellar in his first 12 starts of the year. First pitch is a sweeper, and it misses low. He's retired the last 6 in a row. Leadoff single by Pena, as all the Astros have mustered through the first 7 batters. Infielders are back. Here's the pitch. And it misses low and in. It's 2-0 to Cam.
The 1.41 ERA for Rogers in his first 12 starts is the lowest ever for an Orioles pitcher in his first 12 starts of a season.
2 balls and no strikes. Changeup misses low. So second time he's thrown a changeup on 2-0. And the count's 3-0 now. Should be taking a pitch here. Rogers delivers, and it's outside, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Smith. That's how we start the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Chas McCormick, Astros center fielder. He has a 244 average as well. McCormick asked for timeout. And now he's back in there. Big hole on the right side if he can shoot it that way. First pitch from the lefty is outside. Opponents against Trevor Rogers this month are 0 for 18 on his breaking pitches, the cutter or the slider. 0 for 18 in August. Third baseman sneaks in. Here's the 1-0. And he fouls it back. It's 1-1. His last game against the Mariners, they swung at 61 of his 95 pitches, which means he was throwing a lot of strikes, and their game plan was to try to attack as early and as often as possible, but it didn't matter. He still pitched well. Smith on first base, 5 for 6 in stolen bases. Long pause, set at the belt, runner goes. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss, and a high throw into center field. Cam Smith didn't see where the ball was. He steals second base on the high throw from Alex Jackson. And he's in scoring position now. It's a 1-2 count on Chas McCormick.
Well, it's pretty clear that the Astros have something on Trevor Rogers, because we saw Pena take off on first move and steal a base rather easily. And Cam able to do the same here. But yeah, it looked like Alex Jackson was throwing a pop-up to the infielders. That's how bad that throw was.
Here's the 1-2. Tip foul, knocks the catcher's mask off his head. Appears to be okay. Brian Honora, the home plate umpire, is going to walk a baseball out to the pitcher just in case.
You know, when I see a throw that bad from a catcher, my first reaction is always to look at the home plate umpire to see if interference was called on the hitter. Because sometimes that'll be what leads to a throw like that, but that wasn't the case.
You know what I don't understand? Latin, not a word of it. No, I don't understand why a runner stealing a base doesn't look to center field when they slide anymore on an errant throw when they can get to third base. They just never do it anymore. I don't know why it's not taught. Couple of looks at second. Here's the 1-2, and he misses the outside corner.
Well, now I know what to get you for Christmas. Rosetta Stone Latin.
That'll help me on my next SAT.
Yeah, help you when you go visit the Vatican.
Runner on second, nobody out. Orioles lead 1-0. Here's the pitch. Changeup's low. Full count to Chas. Orioles scored in the first inning on a homer by Gunnar Henderson. Rogers working hard here on the 8 and 9 hitters. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Taste ball 4, a high fastball. McCormick goes down on strikes, and that'll bring up Pena, 1 away. Pena singled his last time up. He was aggressive on the first pitch.
You know, normally when you see a pitcher who has been as dominant as Rogers has been through his first 12 starts. You see a really high strikeout rate, usually more than a batter per inning, but not the case for Rogers.
Little inside move there to keep Cam Smith close at second.
Coming into this game, 76 in the third innings for Rogers, 67 strikeouts. That's not horrible, but that's not the sort of strikeout rate you tend to expect these days from a pitcher who's been dealing like he has.
First pitch, swing and a miss. Two-seam fastball away from Pena. And Rogers ahead of the count, 0-1. There's one out, runner on second. 3.06 average for Pena as he stands in. Rogers checks the runner. Left-hander delivers, and that's a shot into right center field. The Astros are going to score here. RBI single for Jeremy Pena. He's 2 for 2, and we're tied at 1 apiece.
Didn't try to do too much with that fastball away, went with it, and gets rewarded.
So Pena has solved Rogers so far. Here's Correa. Correa with a 2-run homer in yesterday's ball game had a couple of hits. Pena stole his 18th base his last time he was on. He stole third base. He's on first base here with 1 out. Little slide step. First pitch is inside, ball 1.
Yeah, first time we've seen that from Rogers after the Astros were able to take off pretty easily against him. You mentioned the steal of third for Pena. He had taken off at first base when Correa hit a ground ball and also got a really good jump, kept him out of the double play.
1-0 pitch is low. Sun's trying to poke out from between the clouds right now. Very cloudy day in Baltimore. First 3 games, it was very clear. A little warmer, a little more humid this afternoon. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's inside by a hair, and it's 3-0. That was close.
Sure was. Ryan O'Nora got it right.
Green light Correa right here, I would.
Sure. That's the way he's been swinging.
Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4. So a walk to Carlos Correa. His second walk of this inning puts runners on first and second for Altuve.
That'll lead to Jackson going to the mound, and now the pitching coach, Drew French, is going to come out too. Try to get Rogers back on track.
Little reminder that Altuve will be aggressive on this first pitch, so maybe try to entice him to chase something out of the zone. It's part of the conversation. Also to let him catch his breath for a minute. We're in the top of the third inning, 1 apiece with the Astros and Orioles. The Astros are 14 games over 500 now, 72 and 58, 3 games ahead of the Seattle Mariners.
And Mariners losing to the A's in extra innings last night. So the Astros able to pick up a game.
Home plate umpires trying to break it up. They're still talking, though. He's been out there, the umpire, for a good 10, 15 seconds. All right, here we go. Drew French, the pitching coach for the Orioles, was poached from the Astros organization.
Of course, their general manager here, Mike Elias, former assistant GM with the Astros.
Altuve climbs in there. There's 1 out, 2 men on. Pena on second base with dirt all over the front of the gray uniform. First pitch. Tries to catch the outside corner, misses. That was the changeup, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, wasn't going to throw him fastball first pitch.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes Altuve goes to the plate more patient than the others, and it's apparent. But inherently, Altuve wants to swing. Now timeout's called. Counts 1-0. 22 homers on the season for Jose. Rogers set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Catches the outside corner this time. Splitting that outer corner. And it's 1-1. Hey, watch Correa on first base, Robert. Never taking his eyes off Pena at second. If Pena goes, he's going.
Yeah, he's even staring at him now before Rogers comes set.
Yep. Here's the pitch. Change-up's low, and it's 2-1. It's a good way to do it. Mm-hmm. First baseman's not holding him on.
Right.
First base coach is telling him where the first baseman is so he can get a big lead. But if Pena goes, Correa's going too. Keeping his eye on the runner at second. Here's the 2-1. And yeah, they caught him. They were trying to do it. Inside move by the pitcher, Rogers. And Pena scrambled back to second.
Yeah, he had taken a couple of steps toward third.
So obviously Pena had given a signal to Correa that he might be going. Some kind of a hand signal. Now
that's a third disengagement, isn't it?
Third disengagement. There we go. So the runners are going to advance. It's a balk on the pitcher, Rogers, for stepping off the rubber. He'd already thrown twice, or stepped off as well. All of those count for disengagements, and the Astros now have 2 men in scoring position.
Orioles keep the infield back.
Swing and a miss. Altuve, it's 2-2.
4 straight changeups.
It's one thing you kind of expect out of a young team with Baltimore is some errors, unforced errors, some mental mistakes, and we've seen them all this series. Mm-hmm. First baseman sneaks in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Altuve strikes out, and there's 2 away.
All changeups. All 5 pitches.
That'll bring up Christian Walker. We talked about it his last AB. Walker leads the American League with 2-out RBIs, 42. The Major League leader, Kyle Schwarber, with 53.
He's having a ridiculous year.
Yep, free agent after the season. That's Pena on third, Correa on second. It's a 1-1 ball game. Rogers delivers. And this one's hit high in the air toward the corner right field. Jackson's over there and in fair territory makes the catch for out number 3, and that'll do it for the Astros in the third inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 men left. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning. It's the Astros 1 and the Orioles 1. Hey, Astros.
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feeling discontent. I'm not facing it all.
RBI single by Pena. Pena's 2 for 2 now. As the sun pokes out momentarily here in Baltimore, in and out of the clouds so far. So far, as far as commanding the strike zone, Arrighetti's doing a better job. Cowser singled to start the ball game for the Baltimore Orioles. 11 homers on the year. He's homered in each of the last 2. Infield swung around to the right. First pitch to the left-handed batter is in there for strike 1.
From the Sam Houston State University.
That's right. The Harvard of the South, they call it.
Who's they?
The alumni. The 0-1 took a little off and missed. And it's 1-1.
So, we were talking earlier, they do those introductions, like the football introductions for the Orioles here on Sundays. Get to say their school, their college, high school, whatever.
1-1 from Arrighetti. And that one just missed the outside corner.
I could see you, if you ever had the opportunity to do that, you'd be one of those guys. You wouldn't just say your school name. You'd say something like, Steve Sparks, eat 'em up, Cats. Something like that.
Yeah, we would have dressed that one up a little bit. Breaking ball's in there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Or you would have said your preschool or something.
It's no fun to do it straight. 1-1 ball game. Bottom of the third. Here's Arrighetti's 2-2 pitch. Curveball pulled to the right side. A 1 hopper for Walker. Underhands to Arrighetti covering first base. A 3-1 putout, and there's 1 away.
4 straight ground ball outs for Arrighetti. That's a good sign.
Jeremiah Jackson, the batter now, headed to a double play his last time up. Astros have played some good baseball in Baltimore the last few years.
Yes, they have. Dating back to the 2016 season, Astros have won 22 of the last 30 games they've played here. This used to be a place they could never win.
First pitch to Jackson is outside.
The Astros lost the first 7 games they ever played here. First played here in 2005 when it was still an interleague series, and that stretched into 2013, that losing streak here.
1-0 pitch. Hit high in the air behind home plate. That's going to reach the seats. 10 rows back. And a missed opportunity for a fan.
And overall, before this stretch that the Astros have been on, where they've won 22 of 30 here, before that they had lost 13 of 16 at this ballpark.
Quite a turnaround. Up and in. That heater chasing the chin of the right-handed batter. It's 2-1.
One of the rare times we've seen Arrighetti fall behind so far today.
Yeah. 31 strikes, 15 balls so far. Breaking pitch popped up. Center field, McCormick will fight the sun and angle his body and make the catch to his right for the second out.
So right before this inning started, when the fielders were coming out for the Astros, Chas McCormick realized he had forgotten his sunglasses, and Cam Smith was running out with him, and Cam said, hold on, I'll get him. And Jason Bell, who coaches the outfielders, was out in front of the dugout to make sure that McCormick got those sunglasses through Cam Smith, and he needed them on that fly ball.
Thank goodness. 1-1 ball game. Here's Gunnar Henderson. He's accounted for the only run for Baltimore with the homer in the first inning. First pitch is outside. Left-handed batter, 24 years old. That one's wide. 2-0 to Henderson. Here's the 2-0. Off-speed strike. The Astros need another starter or two to step up. It's been Hunter Brown and Jason Alexander this month who have combined for a 1.49 ERA, which is great. 2-1 is low. But the rest of the starting pitchers in August have an ERA of almost 7.5.
And that includes Fromber, who was unbeatable there for a while.
That's right.
But has come back to earth a bit of late.
3-1 count. Arrighetti. Foul. This one into the second deck to our left.
And here's the other part of it, too. So the Astros have the off day tomorrow. After tomorrow, starting Tuesday, the Astros play 13 in a row and have games 22 of the next 23 days beginning Tuesday.
3-2. Grounder toward the middle, backhanded by the second baseman Urias on a tough hop, and he gets Henderson by a half of a step. And it's another 1-2-3 for Eric Getty. He's retired 7 in a row. We played 3 at Camden Yards. It's the Astros 1 and the Orioles 1.
It's game time in Space City.
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm not releasing it all. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step, still hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you are. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it close.
Fastball. Rogers, the lefty, delivers a changeup, and it's outside. If he gets a fastball right here. Wind blowing out to right center field. Pretty good clip, about 10 miles per hour. Rogers delivers, gets the fastball, tips it foul into the catcher's glove. It's 1-1. He's not picking up this pitcher's fastball very well.
Yeah, that was right down the middle.
Rogers, middle of the rubber. Delivers, swing and a miss. Another fastball. It's 1-2.
And it looked like another hittable fastball, too.
He is wondering if there's a hole in his bat. Asked for timeout. One ball and 2 strikes. Leading off the 4th inning here. Rogers gets the sign. Here's the pitch, and he muscles it into left field for a base hit. A leadoff single for Yainer Diaz. The Astros get the leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time.
Of the 3 fastballs he got, that was the toughest one of them to hit. That one was over the inside corner, pretty well located by Rogers.
Just like the challenge.
I guess so. They're swinging through the 2 fastballs down the middle.
Astros this series have been doing a good job getting that leadoff hitter on. Here's Urias. First pitch, strike. What a difference a series can be. First 3 games on this road trip. Remember, the Astros went to Detroit. They scored 2 runs and had 4 extra base hits total in those 3 games. This one's rocketed foul down the right field line. The last 3 games, 26 runs and 16 extra base hits. And they've cut in half their strikeouts from the first 3 games of this series and those 3 games in Detroit. It looks like a different team.
It really does.
No balls and 2 strikes to Urias. Rogers delivers, and that's strike 3. Fastball. Surprised Urias there, and there's one away.
Yeah, he must have been expecting something else, right at the knees.
6 strikeouts now for Rogers. That'll bring up Dubon. Dubon flew out to right his last time up. And talking about those 2 runs in Detroit, it was Dubon responsible for both of those runs, a 2-run homer to the opposite field. Pitch is low. Talk about unlikely.
Yeah, after just that one home run that you mentioned by Dubon, and Detroit Astros have hit 8 home runs in the first 3 games in Baltimore.
And that's what they got to do. Robert, you've got to hit homers these days. 1-0 is outside.
Especially when you face the better pitchers,
Right.
especially when you start thinking about postseason.
You're just not going to bunch hits together.
Right.
So you got to work a walk or two. But when you get a guy on, you got to be able to hit a homer every once in a while. Pitch is high.
That's the other thing about the 8 home runs the Astros have hit in this series. 7 of them have come with men on base.
There you go.
Jesus Sanchez had the solo home run in the first inning yesterday, but all the other ones have been with men on.
And the walks have come in handy, right?
Yes.
Here's the 3-0. Strike on the inside corner. 3-1 to Dubon. Runner on first base with 1 out. 1-1 ball game.
Yeah, I think this series the Astros have done a really good job of taking advantage of whatever the Orioles have given them, whether it's been walks, whether it's been miscues in the field. We've seen the Astros been able to cash in.
Rogers set. Here's the pitch. Strike 2, inside corner. Dubon thought it was a ball. And it's 3-2. I'd send the runner. I know he's got 6 strikeouts, but Dubon can put it in play. Diaz on first. He had a day off yesterday. Now a timeout's called.
Sometimes putting a man in motion can help a hitter get going, too. Dubon hitless in his last 14 at-bats.
A little pause here. Brian O'Nora, the home plate umpire, needed an extra second. Here we go. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Rogers gets the sign. He's ready. Here's the pitch. Whack to left field. That's a base hit. A 1-hopper to left. And Diaz stops on second base. He was not going. That'll put runners on first and second with 1 away, and that'll bring up Robert Cam Smith, who's done a good job in these situations.
Yeah, Cam Smith, even with his struggles of late, has been very good with runners in scoring position.
297, I believe.
Yes.
We were looking up that before the game. 297 with runners in scoring position, second best on the team.
Yeah, 823 OPS in these spots.
Walked and scored his last time up. First pitch breaking ball is in there for a strike. These days, Cam standing a little taller at the plate and a little less spread out with his feet. Two men on with 1 away. The Astros trying to cash in on a 1-1 ball game. 0-1 misses the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Cam was in high school in Southern Florida when Rogers was pitching for the Marlins a few years ago. 1-1 is hit high in the air to left center. Beavers, the left fielder, will give way to the center fielder, makes the catch. Running from second to third, Yainer Diaz on the tag. And there's 2 outs now with runners on the corners.
High fastball, Smith getting under it. Been seeing him get under a lot of balls lately.
That'll bring up Chas McCormick, who struck out his last time up.
It looked like McCormick, his first time up, was having trouble seeing the fastball, like we saw with Diaz, first 2 fastballs that he got in his at-bat this inning.
Machine backs up at third. I would consider, now he's creeping in. I would consider laying one down if I was McCormick. Even with 2 outs, could beat 1 out. And he fouls this one back. 0-1 count with 2 outs. Diaz on third, Dubon on first. Dave Clark whispering to Dubon in his right ear something at first base, something about the move of Rogers. The Astros have been aggressive early. Here's the 0-1. Strike. Cormick's not picking it up very well.
Nope.
Payne is on deck. Figure it out. Figure out a way to put it in play. See what happens. Big hole on the right side. It's wide open. Here's the pitch. Pulled and fouled. But 2 feet wide to the third base bag. Hit it sharply. Still 0-2.
Diaz had to spin to get out of the way of that, leading in foul territory.
Now Rogers asked for a new baseball. No balls and 2 strikes to McCormick. Here's the pitch, and it's low and away, the changeup. The other thing about the Astros, talk about making adjustments against the 3 starters, first 3 games of this series they faced last week and didn't fare well at all. Young, Povich, and Kramer. Pulled, backhanded by the third baseman Machine, throws to second for the force, and that'll do it for the Astros here in the 4th inning. A great play to the backhand, third baseman Machine of Baltimore, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 4th inning. No runs on 2 hits, 2 men left. We played 3.5 at Oriole Park. It's the Astros won and the Orioles won. Now this from your local station.
Come see future Astros stars at one of the
The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feeling discontent. I'm finally seeing it all. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still. Hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I weighed the person you are.
On Hall of Famer of the Baltimore Orioles. And of course, the holder of the longest consecutive games played streak. First pitch is foul straight back. It's 0-1. Of course, when he reached 2,131, he broke that record of Lou Gehrig on September 6th, 30 years ago. 0-1 to Mountcastle. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, and it's inside. Before Ripken, that longest consecutive game streak for a shortstop at that time was 717 by Ernie Banks. Not even a third of the way. And you think about Correa talking about how much easier third base is than shortstop. Makes it even more remarkable that it's a shortstop that was able to achieve that. There's a foul ball back. It's 1-2.
Yeah, by the end, after he passed Gehrig's record, but by the end of Ripken's consecutive game streak, he was a third baseman. Actually started that streak playing third base.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Arrighetti delivers, and it's a hook, and it's fouled back. His consecutive innings played streak might even be better. He played 8,200 264 consecutive innings at shortstop at one point. How crazy is that? Over 5 years he did it. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, one hopper, flagged by Correa to his left. He gets up, and it's a strike. Carlos Correa with some wizardry at third base, and there's one away.
Really tricky hop to Correa on a hard hit ball, and was able to grab it with his glove while hitting the ground, but popped up quickly.
Here's the DH, Basayo, singled his last time up.
Yeah, they're doing a big celebration on the 30th anniversary of Ripken breaking the streak record.
Breaking ball is in there for a strike.
On September 6th.
That consecutive innings streak at shortstop, 8,264. No player since the end of World War II had a streak half that long. Think about that. This is a high foul ball to right field. That's going to leave the ballpark, I think. That's how far Basayo hit that one, and it's 0-2. For over 5 years, he never came out of a game. No pinch runner, no pinch hitter, no defensive replacement.
Yeah, didn't come out in the later stages of a blowout.
No. Pitch is low. And during that streak, the Orioles played 2 16-inning games, 1 15-inning game, 1 14-inning game, 4 13-inning games, 9 12-inning games, and 21 11-inning games, and he never came out of one of those for 1 second, which is amazing. And he talks about why he felt like he was so resilient. Breaking balls, fouled back. He built a basketball court at his house in 1990, and he would regularly schedule basketball games with a bunch of guys he knew wouldn't get too crazy, but good players that just wouldn't undercut somebody on a fast break, say. But he said he felt like he kept his legs under him better than most because of those basketball games. That pitch is fouled off the front foot. It's still 1-2.
You're technically not supposed to play basketball.
He got it in his contract where he could.
Yeah, because most of the contracts players sign these days, a standard contract, prohibits certain activities like basketball. Skiing's another one.
Oh, there's 100 of them. 1 ball and 2 strikes. High in the air, shallow left field. Here comes Dubon, left fielder. Mosey's on in, makes that catch, and there's 2 away.
And there's also a long tradition of baseball players not always abiding by that clause in their contract. Remember Zach Greinke, when he was with the Brewers, fractured his collarbone playing basketball in spring training one year.
Yeah, there's a lot of ski things.
Yeah, Dusty Baker, he had a knee injury for a good chunk of his career that he said he initially heard playing basketball in the offseason.
Here's Dylan Beavers, 2 out, 1-1 ball game. First pitch is a little breaking ball, and it's a strike. Ripken said going into spring training every year, he was so much better in shape than anybody else because of those basketball games. And he attributes that to all the lateral movement and jumping and things of that nature. He said it was like 2 hours of plyometrics going into spring training. He said you can be in good basketball shape, and that carries into baseball, but it's not the other way around. 0-2 count. Changeup is fouled to the right.
Yeah, Michael Jordan found that out, right?
Yeah.
He tried to play baseball. He did play baseball for a year.
Cal Ripken. And that came around when baseball needed it most in 1995 after the strike. Here's the 0-2. And it's high, 1-2. Fans had the general feeling that players were greedy at that time because of the strike. And there comes a guy that punched the clock every day for those many years. Here's the 1-2. Foul. Getty's throwing all of his pitches.
If you go back and look at the archives of local TV news stations around the time Ripken broke that record, not just in Baltimore, but everywhere, they were all doing news stories about other workers in other industries who hadn't missed a day of work in a very long time.
1-1 ball game, bottom of the 4th. 2 outs, the pitch. Fouled.
You know, this guy's been, he's an auto mechanic, and he hasn't missed a day of work in 21 years, stuff like that. You were seeing that on local news stations ad nauseum around that time.
And they all related to Cal Ripken.
Yep.
One-two pitch. Beavers fouls another. Man, this kid's tough. Dylan Beavers.
7 pitches seen here.
Lined out to second his last time up.
An interesting kind of swing. I don't know that you necessarily teach someone to hit quite the way he does, but it works for him.
Dubon shaded toward the line a little bit in left field. Beavers a left-handed hitter. 1-2, pulled foul. Staying alive.
Like on the home run that he hit in the first game of this series on Thursday night, his first big league home run, he kind of, it's almost like he stopped his swing after making contact, still drove it.
Arrigetti's 73rd pitch. Got him, strike 3. Stayed with it, got him on the cutter, and it's another 1-2-3 for Arrigetti. He's retired 10 in a row. We'll go to the 5th inning in Baltimore. It's the Astros 1 and the Orioles 1.
Astros and Orioles tied at 1 as we start the 5th inning. Jeremy Pena leads off 2 for 2 with an RBI single when he takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Pena's single in the 3rd inning drove home Cam Smith, who had walked and stole second. Gunnar Henderson homered in the 1st for Baltimore's run. Rogers, the 0-1. Swing and a miss at a changeup down, and it's 0-2 to Pena. Astros have had the leadoff man reach in 3 of the first 4 innings. Both teams with 4 hits apiece, in addition to 1 run apiece, and neither team has been charged with an error. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Pena goes down on 3 pitches, the last 2 changeups. And that's the 7th strikeout for Rogers, 1 away. Now it's Correa. He's grounded out and walked. Mentioned it earlier, Rogers pitching very well this year. In 12 starts coming into the day, but not necessarily doing it by striking out the world. Averaging just under a strikeout per 9 inning. First pitch to Correa is fouled back over the screen, or averaging just under a strikeout per inning is Rogers, which is kind of pedestrian these days.
Drafted out of high school in New Mexico in Albuquerque.
Here's the 0-1, and that is inside. Yeah, it was the 13th overall pick in the draft in 2017, selected by Miami.
I think the Astros are thinking that he might fall to them that year.
1-1. High bouncer, left side, deep in the hole, backhanded by Henderson. A step on the outfield grass. 2-out throw to first, and Mountcastle can't corral it. It goes past him. And Correa reaches first base on the error. They'll charge that error to Henderson most likely, but that looked like a ball that maybe Mountcastle should have been able to come up with.
Well, if it only hops one time, it would have been a lot easier for Mountcastle, but it hopped twice. And that second hop was kind of tough.
Yeah, you're right. It was kind of a short hop, that second hop, looking at it again. So an error on Henderson. Astros have a one-out base runner for Altuve, who's 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Last time he saw nothing but changeups. First pitch here. And Altuve lifts this in the air out to left center. Fighting the sun is Cowser, and he stumbles over to make the catch. That was not easy for Cowser dealing with the sun. Out number 2, Correa back to first. Altuve looked like he came up there looking for a fastball, got it, but got under it a bit.
Yeah, there's some deception in this fastball, and everybody's getting under it. Correa was well aware that Cowser, the center fielder, was fighting the sun. He was inching closer and closer towards second just in case.
So Correa is still at first with 2 out for Walker, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. First pitch, and Walker takes one just low for a ball.
Another opportunity with 2 outs here for Walker.
Home runs in each of the first 3 games of this series. 5th time Walker has homered in 3 consecutive games. He's never homered in 4 in a row. 1-0. That misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Now he throws the changeup on 2-0 a ton. It's 2-0 now. Would you sit on it?
Might not be a bad idea. Take it if it's something else. 2-0. And Walker hits it in the air pretty well out to left center field. Cowser is over on the warning track at the wall. Makes the catch, banging into the wall. Christian Walker just missed a homer for a 4th straight day, as Cowser was going into the padded wall when he came up with that baseball. So the Astros strand a run.
Your day. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I've made it innocent, a feeling discontent. I'm not facing it all.
It was a rocky first inning for Arrighetti. He allowed 4 hits in the inning, including a solo home run by Gunnar Henderson. Stranded 2 runners, and since then has set down 10 in a row. 0-1. And that's right in there for a strike, 0-2. So Arrighetti trying to become the first Astro starter in 3 days to complete 5 innings. He needs 3 more outs to get there.
Jackson standing like a statue on that fastball. That last pitch tells you he was looking for spin.
Here comes the 0-2. Bouncing ball left side. Tough play. Pena backhands. Jump throw to first. Got him.